Part 5 in Options Pairs Tools video, using optionsanalysis.com for pairs trading. Part 5 discusses risk graphics. We showed you how to find stock pairs, how to use the searcher, and now we're going to use the output of the searcher to go into pairs risk graphics. Here's the output of our 1-5 spread pairs trade searcher. The links to click are the links under where it says click to open pairs risk graph. These two links over here will just open a regular risk graph for that particular spread. These both open the same risk graph. When you click on the link, it performs a risk graph analysis of both pairs trade and then combines them together using the cash spread formula. This is what it would look like before you've saved the trades. There's a left trade and a right trade. It shows which are your strikes, what your bid-ask spreads are, and how many contracts you're currently trying to trade. If you want to increase the contracts, you would simply click into the box and type in the bigger number that you're interested in. And then at the bottom, it shows the pairs trade risk graph. This is the risk graph in overlay mode. In overlay mode, we simply risk graph the put credit spread on top of the put debit spread of the other trade. Notice that the bottom is the stock prices for Diamond. So how were we able to put the put credit spread risk graph on the stock prices for Diamond? We use the cash spread formula. We know the A-B values. The Diamond stock prices are the Y values in the cash spread formula. To find what the corresponding X values should be, we simply use the cash spread formula to solve for X given Y. Knowing each of these X values, we can go into the put credit spread for VIG and find out what the risk value is that corresponds to that X value, and then put that risk value point on this chart, connect all the risk value points with these curves. So that's how we were able to overlay the put debit spread for Diamond on top of the put credit spread for VIG. The blue line is where the stock is close price is today for both of these two particular trades. Note that if the two option trade risk graphs stay in the same area, as the blue line moves to the right, as the stock price increases, note that we will make more money in VIG than we will lose in Diamond. And if the stock price moves to the left, that is, if the stock goes down, note that we will make more money in Diamond than we will lose in VIG. This particular option pairs trade using these two spreads makes money if the stock goes to the left or to the right. It's in between those two where different events can happen. In this particular case, we've moved the risk graphics to 14 days later by using the upper right calendar the upper right calendar date box to simply move the date 14 days into the future from when we open the two trades. We see that in fact the stock has moved to the right, and the current profits are where the stock price hits the red line here for $140 in VIG profits, and where the orange line is hitting the blue line here for a $66 loss in the Diamond trade, for a net gain of approximately $74. We can take the different risk curves, and because they have a common axis, we can add the profits and loss of the risk curves together to form one curve. That one curve is given by the red line here for the combination of the red and orange lines on the other chart, and then the other time curves, and finally the black expiration curve that you see here. Those are the expiration curves in this particular chart if the cash spread history B will remain unchanged in time as we move forward. But we also show you on the pairs risk graph, which is what we call the sum chart, what would happen to your expiration risk curve if for some reason your cash spread B swings all the way down to the orange curve. We draw the expiration risk curve if that were to happen. Note that if that happens in this particular trade, we swing more into the profit zone and we cannot lose anymore. If on the other hand, the cash spread formula swings in the other direction, goes back to the purple curve from which it started, the expiration curve of the summed risk graphics will move down into this purple line you see here, and we will have a loss zone, although the far extreme upper and lower profit zones don't change. Well, here's what happened in this particular trade with 1 day to go to expiration. We compare the black expiration curve in this curve with the black expiration curve in this curve, and we see that the black expiration curve has in fact moved closer to the purple zone. So if we were to go and look at the B chart, we would discover that the B chart moved from where we were 14 days ago more towards the purple area in the historical chart curve. However, our stock pretty much stayed the same and ended up at this nice larger profit zone where you see the blue curve and red curve intersect, and that would be a good point to get out. The next presentation will go into pairs profits.